Hey everyone, the audiobook market is absolutely booming right now. And maybe you've been thinking, how can I get a piece of that? Well, the great news is you can. So let's jump in and figure out how to do it the right way so you end up with a real business, not a legal headache.
So is this for you? Do you want to build a business in this space? Because honestly, the opportunity is huge, but only if you know the rules of the game. It might seem a little complicated at first, but I promise with the right strategy, it's totally doable.
Okay, but before we go any further, we have to talk about the number one mistake people make. You can't just go and download the latest bestseller and start selling copies from your own website. That is the fastest way I know to get a scary letter from a lawyer and get your whole operation shut down.
And here's the thing you have to understand. When you buy a digital audiobook, what you're really buying is a license to listen to it yourself. You don't actually own the file in a way that lets you turn around and resell it. Trying to do that is just stepping into a copyright nightmare. So we need a totally different game plan.
But here's the fun part. The good news is there are 4 fantastic and completely legal business models you can choose from. Each one is a different path, so let's break them down and you can see which one feels right for you. First up, we have what's probably the cleanest and most straightforward model. You create and sell your own original audiobooks, right? This could be you narrating a book you wrote, turning your blog posts into audio guides, or even creating short courses. The beauty here is you own all the rights. You're in complete control.
Number 2, you can license the rights from independent authors. This is kind of like being an indie publisher. You find authors who have a book, but no audiobook, you work out a deal, usually a revenue share, and then you handle the distribution. It's an amazing way to build a whole catalog of titles without writing a single word yourself.
Third, you can go a little old school with the classic e-commerce route, selling physical audiobooks. Yeah, I'm talking about CDs, box sets, things like that. It's definitely a niche market for sure, but it completely sidesteps all the digital rights drama because you're just selling real, tangible products. And fourth, this one is my personal favorite. I call it the sneaky smart model. You sell services to the audiobook industry. Think about it. Narration services, audio editing, cover design. You could even put together starter kits for authors. You get to be a crucial part of the ecosystem without ever needing the rights to a single book. And this table just lays it all out so clearly. You can see the trade-offs, right? Creating your own stuff gives you total control, but yeah, it takes time. Licensing helps you build a library fast, but you're dealing with legal agreements. Selling physical copies is pretty straightforward, but it's a smaller market. And offering services, that can mean high-value clients, but you gotta manage those relationships. So which path is calling out to you? Okay, let's zoom in on that first model for a second, creating your own, because honestly, it's the most accessible place for most people to start. But remember, the goal isn't just to make an audiobook, it's to create something people actually want to listen to. And here's the secret, don't even try to compete with the big bestsellers. That's not the game. Instead, pick a niche that fits how people really listen to audio. On their commute, while they're cooking, or walking the dog. Short business guides, language learning packs, bedtime stories for kids. These are perfect. They solve a very specific problem for someone in a specific moment. Now this slide right here, this might be the most important point of all. You have to get this right. People will forgive a simple cover, they really will. But what they will not forgive is bad audio. Harsh, echoey, noisy sound is an instant turnoff. It's the fastest way to get a bad review and a refund request. Clean, crisp audio is absolutely everything. Okay, so let's say you've done it. You've created a fantastic, high-quality audiobook in a great niche. Awesome. Now, where do people actually buy it? Well, the best long-term play is to build your own online storefront, a place where you control the whole experience and, best of all, you keep all the profits. And on that storefront, your product page has to do all the selling. Be super clear about who the audiobook is for, how long it is, what format it comes in, all that stuff. But you see that last point, the listen preview? That, my friends, is your number one conversion tool. Nobody, and I mean nobody, buys an audiobook without hearing a sample of the narrator's voice first. Now, when it comes to how you sell, you've really got 2 main options. Direct purchase is the easy one. One payment, one download. Simple. It's the easiest way to get started. A membership model, though, is way more powerful in the long run. Subscribers get access to your whole library for a monthly fee, but it does mean you have to keep adding new content to make it worthwhile. I know, this can all feel like a lot to take in, so let's just make it really practical.
Let's break it down into a simple 30-day plan to get your audiobook business up and running. This is where the idea starts to feel real.
Here's your roadmap. Week 1 is all about strategy. Pick your model, pick your niche. Week 2, it's creation time. Get your first couple of short titles produced. Week 3 is the tech part. Build out your online store and your product pages. And week 4, that's go time. You launch and you start telling the world about it. See? When you break it down like that, it's totally achievable.
Now, that week 3 step, the build your store part, I know that can be a major hurdle for a lot of people. If you'd rather just focus on creating your content, there are services out there like Make Local for Global that can just handle all that tech stuff for you. They can get a professional shop online really fast, which is a great option if you want to start selling without the stress. Look, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this principle right here. Don't look for shortcuts. Either own the content you're selling or get the proper license to sell it. That is the fundamental difference between building a sustainable long-term business and just building something that's a takedown notice waiting to happen.
So, when it's all said and done, there's really only one question left. With all these tools and these frameworks in your mind, what story, what piece of knowledge, what idea are you going to share with the world first?